Welcome back to the International Centre in Brentwood, and now a fight that should have taken place at the tail end of last year. We should have seen Shaun Cummins fight Ian Chantler at the York Hall in December, but what happened was, would you believe, Shaun got himself down with chicken pox. I thought only kids got that. Well, Shaun's no old man, but he got chicken pox. Much better now, though, and just as well against the smiling Ian Chantler from St Helens, having his 57th fight tonight. And I tell you, this is not an easy man to beat. Only been KO'd once, and that was by Nigel Benn. And Nigel Benn just took the grand total of 16 seconds. Well, I tell you, if Shaun Cummins beats that, the world will sit up and take notice. We saw his last outing against Kevin Hayden, Basildon, and he won that in a canter on points over 8 rounds. And he's a tough kid, this. He will not be worried in any way, shape or form about facing Shaun Cummins. Oh, a special sound treatment, I think. Well, I suppose Gary Gritter's got to get the royalties somehow. The young man from Leicester, used to be known as Jumbo, after the American heavy, who caused Frank Bruno a bit of bother. Now he's the governor. And despite all the hype and the glitter, he's a very nice young man, is Shaun Cummins. I know everybody from Leicester and in his adopted Wales will be wishing him well tonight. I know one man who won't be wishing him well is Chris Pyatt. No love lost between those two, and what a meeting that would be if that ever comes off.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a light middleweight contest of 10 3-minute rounds of a match made at 11 stone. Between and introducing to you, boxing out of the red corner and wearing the gold trunks, would you please welcome from St Helens in Lancashire, Ian Chantler. And his opponent, wearing the black and silver, originally from St Nelson in Lancs, now living in South Wales, Shaun Cummins.
And with the Dragon of Wales on his trunks.
At the win at 1 o'clock this afternoon, Shaun Cummins scaled 10 stone, 13 3/4 pounds. Ian Chantler scaled exactly 11 stone. This is 10 3-minute rounds of boxing. Our referee once again, Mr. Dave Paris.
Light middle limit of 11 stone. That used to be my old fighting weight. You'd never believe it now. It used to be that once upon a time. Stop laughing, McGuigan. I hope he remembers to take his baseball cap off, a bit of the eyeballs. And I tell you, Ian Chantler will relish this. He likes nothing better than deflating reputations, and he'll fancy this, I tell you. Paris did remind him to take his cap off.
Seconds up.
This is scheduled for 10. Cummins in the black and silver, Chantler in the golds.
Lovely right hand hook.
Oh,
beautiful.
Well now.
He's already hurt Chandler with that. This Cummins is an underrated fighter. I've always thought that he's certainly one of the best light middleweights in this country. Vicious puncher, and what I did like about him, Dave, he has the knack of being able to switch his body punches to head punches, and vice versa, which is a very difficult thing to do. Attack the head and then switch to the body in the one combination, which is particularly hard to do, and he's a good mover, side to side, lots of head movement.
Well, I must admit, I've gone out on a limb as regards Shaun Cummins this year. I've gone into print, tipping him as one of the young men to watch in 1991. So I've got a vested interest that he doesn't let me down tonight.
Yeah, he's certainly all over Chandler at the moment. He's giving him lots of movement and attacking him from different angles and confusing him at the moment. Chandler's got his hands a bit low, and we know he's a tough guy, but he can't afford to take chances like that. His right hand in particular is like...
There's a touch of arrogance about Cummins that I like. It's always good to see in a fighter, provided you've got the ammunition to back it up, and he has. That was another good right hand.
This fight is not going to last long, I can assure you. That's 2 right hands he's shaking him with, and he's confusing him as well as hitting him with hard punches. He's attacking him from different angles and causing him all sorts of problems. He's definitely a fighter to watch, this kid. Definitely a fighter to watch. What I like about him is he thinks, they watch all the movements, they're all thought out beforehand and excellently executed. Brilliant. With the right hand again. Best shot to hit a southpaw is with a right hand. He's hit him with about a dozen of them already. Cummins has got there. He's got to cool down now. He's exerted a lot of energy in this first round. He's got to slow down and drop the pace a slight bit.
Right. And Chantler's doing well to hang in there this round. He'll have done well to come through this, because he took 2 good right hands, and they really came close to dismantling him. No doubt that it was Cummins' round, but Chantler's, well, a record of 56 fights going into this round, into this bout, speaks for itself. And he's going to use that experience. We're with Cummins now, as I was saying earlier, is some mutual animosity towards Chris Pyatt. Goes back a long way to when they were both amateurs sparring in the same gym. Cummins reckoned that Pyatt took 1 or 2 liberties, and he's vowed to get his own back, and they could meet this year. That would be a fight that would fill Filbert Street in Leicester easily.
That's the first right hand. In actual fact, that's the second right hand. Hit him right down the pipe with it.
Seconds out. Round 2.
Well, as Barry said, Cummins just got to come off the boil just a little bit. Don't want to go mad. It's a 10-rounder this. And even though it's unlikely to go that far, you've still got to fight as though it might.
This is going to shorten the... It's going to be a short fight, there's no question about that. At the moment, I only see one winner.
You can come unstuck in a 10-rounder, Barry, if the other bloke's still standing after 8 and you put everything into the first 5 or 6 rounds.
You've run out of steam, yeah.
But I must admit, I can't disagree with you. It's difficult to see it going, Ted.
I think Cummins is a vicious puncher, and he's also a good thinker, and it's a nice combination to have.
And he's trying to make well, he's trying to make Chantler come to him then, and Chantler's obliging. Oh, we don't want to see that. That we don't want to see. And Dave Parris, quite rightly, reading them the riot act.
That's not good behaviour in the ring. There's no need for that. I'm surprised at Cummins, because he's an exceptionally nice fella. He doesn't need to do that when he can fight and punch like that.
Yeah, he is. I had a long chat with him before Christmas at the York Hall, and he's a delightful lad, but that's a silly thing to do. We don't want to see that. Showboating's one thing, but you can take it over the top. Well, nice little edge to this bout now. And let's not forget that Chantler's got a useful dig. He's 117 inside the distance.
He hasn't hurt Cummins once, and he looks a bit long in the tooth. He just looks like he's taken he's taken one or two fights too many. He's just a guy starts to show his age after a while, and your age is determined by the amount of punches you take, and
Sure.
Eventually it catches up with you. And I think Cummins is certainly much fresher of the two, and certainly the harder puncher. I think it's only just going to be a matter of time before he actually hits Chandler with a clean punch, and the fight's over. It's a vicious left hook to the body.
Chantler smiles, and that means it hurt.
You're damn right there, Dave.
Got him again. Those body shots are really hurting. He's cutting Chantler in half with these body shots. You can see the arms dropping.
That's what makes all this silly stupidity all harder to understand when he can fight like the way he does. A hell of a fight. This is a tremendous performance now. He's really cutting him in very good shot.
Chantler can smile, but believe me, he is in some pain. Good round for Cummins. And this is the old kidology from Chantler. No, you're not hurting me, you're not hurting me. Nonsense. This man is some good body puncher.
Yeah. He's able to switch him from the head to the body, and their scything punches. It's a sign of a good body puncher when they whip in with speed, and we can feel him at ringside. It's a sign of a good puncher, good body puncher, and he can both punch to the head and to the body. I think we're going to get an example of it here. That's the first right hand to the head.
I tell you, he fires in body punches the way Dave Green used to fire in body punches. Maybe
Scything punches,
big hooks to the body.
But the thing is, they're done with a bit more speed than Green's, and you can't see them.
Round 3.
Well, third round. I think Chantler might do well to come through this round.
Self-preservation is setting in there with Chandler. He's not worried about punching Cummins. He's just worried about defending himself now. He's taking all the punches out of him.
He's trying everything now, Cummins. Not a supreme confidence, which is good to see, as long as
You can control it.
as long as you don't go daft. Yeah, exactly. And don't get the idea it's all one-way traffic, because Cummins' face pinking up just a little bit shows that Chantler is getting through with the odd shot like that and that.
No, he's trying to load up too much now, Cummins. He should be throwing faster punches instead of trying to knock him out with every shot. A bit more speed. But every shot now is loaded. Look, he's actually digging his heels in and trying to load up. He should be trying to hit him with faster punches. He's not going to hit him with those big swiping ones unless he's hit him with the jab first. A bit more speed and straight combinations, and then he can load up. By loading up, I mean telegraphing the punches, showing him, actually showing him he's going to load up with this big right hand. He should be throwing a bit more speed into them and then unloading. It's not a slap, Dave. It's referee Dave.
Yeah.
Dave Paris. That's a good left hook. Oh, beautiful right.
Got him again.
Nice left hook after. Referee's going to stop this fight very soon.
Then go the body shots, hook to the jaw.
That was an accident.
Dave Parris taking a very close look at Ian Chantler. No power behind those punches.
Cummins is exhausting himself throwing big haymakers all the time. He should be throwing more speed in him. He's trying to kill him with every shot. He shouldn't be so deliberate. A bit more speed and snap. And they get the job over and done with.
Well, Chantler makes it through another. And this is what I mean. We were talking about at the start of the fight that you know, if Chantler was still there around the 8th round, the 7th or 8th round, Cummins, unless he's very, very, very fit, is going to be knackered with the rate he's going at the moment.
Yeah, he's throwing everything into these attacks, and you know, he's got lots of talent. This kid, he's got so much power and snap and so much ability, but he is inclined. I've watched him in fights before. He's inclined to draw himself into a war when there's no need for it. I know it's easy to say it from this side of the ring, but I've been in there. I've actually experienced it, and you know, there's no need to make every fight a war. He can make this an easy fight, and he's trying to make it too tough. That's a beautiful right hand. Look at the way that was thrown, and the left hook clipped him afterwards.
Well, Barry, you can perhaps understand it better than most because you had a reputation as a puncher,
Exactly.
and people expected you to win every fight
Inside
2 or 3 rounds
exactly
with a single shot. And you, to an extent, become a victim of your own reputation.
That's true, and you know, you can make a noose for your own neck.
That's right.
Chantler is watching those body punches. Look where his hands are. He's not worried about the headshots. He's covering his body punches.
Well, I don't think Chantler's taken a forward step in this fight. I don't think Cummins has taken a backward step. It's
See what he's doing there. He's pawing with that left hand again instead of throwing the right. He should be snapping the left. Just taking a breather. All he's got to do is move after him, snap the jab out, and then throw light, fast combinations. And Chandler's so far gone now, all it would take would be 2 or 3 shots. He's a tough kid, but I think he's had about enough now. Referee's not going to take much more of this.
I don't know whether you heard that from Dave Parris. Quote, "Stop messing about, or I'll throw the pair of you out." That'll be fun. He's got to throw those jabs. He's coming in, as Barry quite rightly pointed out, not even bothering to throw a jab, looking to land the single right. And I don't doubt that Freddie King will have words to say to him about that.
Yeah. See, now instead of using the jab, he's resting completely. He's just taking a complete rest, and Chandler's been allowed to come back into the fight. Switch to orthodox now, Chandler, trying to confuse Cummins. I don't think that's going to be a good idea. See, the one thing that's very difficult to do, in contradiction to what I've just said, to jab a southpaw is very hard because you overreach yourself, and the best shot is just the one he's after throwing there, that right hand, lead right hand. But you've got to paw the jab out, even if it just blinds your opponent, to confuse him, and then hit him with the sharp right hand afterwards. Oh, this is going to be over very soon. This Cummins is definitely a vicious puncher. What a hitter he is. He's got so much potential.
He's got huge potential. He needs a lot of very careful handling though, because he could waste it if he persists in the showboating and all the rest of it.
I'll have a word in his ear afterwards, Dave.
Right.
Well, another 30 seconds for Chantler to make it through. Yet another round. He's done well to get this far, actually.
He certainly has.
Come on, get on with it. Right.
No doubt at all that Shaun Cummins is the sort of fighter that puts bums on seats, brings in the customers, but you've got to be able to deliver the basic skills in this game.
Well, he can do that, Dave. He's just, I wish he'd stop this showboating.
Another break from us. Don't go too far away, because we will be right back. Well, while you were away, Dave Parris going to both corners, telling them to smarten their act up.
Seconds up.
Another right hand from Cummins. What about that? This Chandler can certainly take a dig. Can take a dig and a half. No question about that. He wouldn't be there this long.
When you consider that in 28 defeats, the only man to knock him out is Nigel Bent, it suggests a certain durability.
Incredible.
Knocking, you think Nigel Bent just took 16 seconds to finish him off.
Yeah. Talk about being hit cold.
That's right. But I tell you, the longer this fight goes on, the more confident Chantler's going to get.
That's true.
And I suspect the more desperate Cummins might become.
For the first time in the fight, Chandler's actually coming forward. See, he's doing what Cummins should be doing, just flicking the punches, taking a rest, throwing light punches. Every punch that Cummins throws, when he gets close, he's digging his heels and he spreads his legs wide and throws everything into each punch, and that tires the hell out of you. It really, after a couple of rounds, all your wind is gone. Unless you're extremely fit. I know this kid is very fit, but he's got to learn to take it easy at times.
And although the little jabs that Chantler's pushing up, they're not damaging punches at all, but as long as they land on the target area, they score points. No law that says that it has to be a crashing shot to score a point. You score points as long as it lands on the target area.
He's doing a bit more of it there now. He's actually throwing nice light punches. But watch when he gets throws. He throws everything into it. He's grunting and throwing all his weight behind it. And that really tires you. That's what he's doing. He should be doing what he's doing. And lots of head movement, body movement. Chandler, on the other hand, should be actually pushing him back, because Cummins is a come-forward fighter. He's better when he's coming at you. When he's on his back foot, he's not so good. This is going to be a great experience for this kid. It'll teach him that he's got to be patient.
That's right.
There aren't very many Ian Chandlers around. I bet you Shaun Cummins is pleased with that.
This is a much better round for Chantler, this. And you can see that Cummins just starting to blow a little bit now. Mouth open.
That's right.
Which is never a good sign.
I tell you what, you can notice it when he's actually ducking very low. That's a sign of tiredness with a fighter like Cummins. Just when he actually bends low, shows a chance to actually get a breather. Although Chandler has come forward, Cummins has been out boxing. And it's a nice bit of work, practical work on his behalf.
Not a bad round for Chantler, that. Well, we did say that if the fight got into the final stages, Chantler might fancy his chances. And you don't start getting in an argument with your corner man. And everything, in contrast, nice and quiet in Ian Chantler's corner. And I've got to say, Barry, that he looks the fresher of the two at the moment.
Yeah, I was just saying that during the commercial break, after the last round, we saw him in the corner. He looked remarkably fresh, you know. But those body punches are really hurting him, and they're one thing that don't go away. When you get hit to the body, you stay hit.
Round 6.
Well, we're scheduled for 10 into the 6th. Cummins in the black and silver, well ahead, but
tiring.
That's right. Sums it up perfectly.
I can assure you that those body punches landed on Chandler earlier on in the fight, as I said earlier, they don't go away. They're, one or two or three landed good solid body punches in each round is more effective than a half a dozen head punches, because it's in the later stages in the fight that your legs start to go as a result of those early body punches.
Well, Cummins now starting to do what maybe he should have done a couple of rounds ago, is start the jab working.
Yeah, so Freddie has obviously told him in the corner, take a rest for a couple of rounds, move around, use that jab, and you might find that Chandler will actually walk onto one. The first time I've seen Chandler, I read a lot about him in boxing news, but when the first time I've actually seen him in the flesh, and he certainly is a toughie.
Well,
no question about that.
He's one of these boys who's fought everywhere. He's one of these fighters whose record is not really a fair reflection of his ability, because he gets put in with a local favourite everywhere he goes, and he's had some tough decisions against him. But he's a good value for money fighter.
You can see that.
And he's making Cummins think and work in this fight.
That's a beautiful combination. The right hand to the body, left hook to the head. Tucked underneath and slipped under that right jab of Chandler as he came out. He's really moving well and boxing well. It's hurt Chandler again with those body punches. He's actually doubling them in 2 of those shots. He's bending right over parallel with the floor to avoid them. Really hurting him. That's the time to switch to the head. Oh, just missed him with a corker of a right hand. It's a hell of a fight. Really good.
Right. And amazingly, you've got good odds on that. No knockdowns yet.
Cummins coming on strong at the end of the round.
Yeah, that was the best round he's had for 2 or 3 rounds, Shaun Cummins. And for Chantler now, I suspect it's a matter of professional pride in trying to go the full trip. I tell you, he's going to be one very sore man tomorrow morning. Is Ian Chantler.
Beautiful sequence of punches here coming up. There's this right hand to the body. Now watch the way he slips under that, and the left hook comes right on the shot. Look, beautiful. Left hook, hand turned down, palms to the ground. Beautiful left hook. He really does some excellent combinations here, and I think he's really coming on strong at the end of the round. I don't think it's going to last much longer if he keeps pouring on punches like that, but I said that 3 rounds ago. So.
Remember, coming up after this, we've got the main event of the evening, Commonwealth middleweight title. Michael Watson against Craig Trotter.
Round 7.
Scheduled for 10, remember.
Back on the offensive again, Cummins. He's had a few rounds rest, now he's going to start coming forward again.
I'm sure Freddie King's told him that if it does go the full 10, a win is a win. There's no disgrace if you don't stop your man.
Absolutely. People always told me that, but I always wanted to stop the guy inside the round. It always looked more impressive.
Ah, of course.
But Cummins has used the left jab. That's what I've been impressed with. He's starting to use the jab again, and everything comes off of the jab, and he's been doing that brilliantly well in the last couple of rounds, both on the defense and the offenses. It's starting to use it again, the old bread and butter punch.
And Chantler looked a little distressed then, I think. His right hand just zipped across his eye.
I don't know whether the referee's going to allow this to go on much longer. If Chandler keeps staying still in the corner, he's got to start throwing punches back. Cummins is tired.
The left eye is starting to close now, Chantler.
Right.
Cummins is very tired now. He's put a lot of effort into his punches, and yeah, he's still there.
Right.
Cummins' hands are down by his side. Gives you an indication of how tired he is. Brought them back up again, coming inside firing range. He's got to get those hands up. Both very tired. This has been an excellent fight.
Well, Cummins has almost boxed himself to a standstill, and in so doing, he's exhausted his opponent in Chantler. Two very tired young men in the ring there.
Very low punch there.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Right up the cup protector. I don't think that was intentional. That's what he's got to do, Cummins. He's got to throw straight punches and then follow them with the hooks instead of standing, delivering a big hook from far out.
And Cummins gulping in deep lungfuls of air as he came out of his corner for the start of this 8th. And Chantler, this is where the experience comes in. Chantler's making him chase him, making him come after him.
Chandler is bringing those elbows down to stop those body shots taking effect.
And of course, tiredness might have drawn quite a bit of the sting out of Cummins' punches. And there's certainly not the zip in the body shots there was maybe 3, 4, 5 rounds ago.
What happens actually when you tire, Dave, what happens in the late rounds of a very tough fight like this, what happens is your brain stops working. When you tire, you stop thinking as much. There's less oxygen going to the brain, you're not as sharp and alert, and you know, you're inclined to be a bit predictable and throw the same punches, and you fall into a sort of a rut. It's hard, and it's only the real class fighters that can actually snap out of that and get back on, you know, up and start throwing your jab and taking it easy again. And Cummins has got that class, and he's been able to do that. But I mean, both fighters are exhausted in the 8th round of a fabulous fight. I mean, there's been some superb punches there, knockout blows thrown from Cummins, and yet Chandler's still there. I can't believe it. That's the sort of punches that are going to beat this guy. Nice, light, fast, straight punches, followed by body assault. What you do with these head attacks is you jab the guy with a 1-2, you throw a jab and then a 1-2, a left, right, bring his hands up to his face, and then attack the body while he's actually on the way back. You can land a solid body punch. But if you throw those body punches from far out and he sees you, all he's got to do is tuck the elbows in, and it takes the sting out of the punch completely. And it's a wasted shot. And at this stage in the fight, both fighters are really tired, and every missed punch is, you know, is as bad as taking a shot.
Well, there was no way they could have kept up the pace of the first few rounds, but against a guy who could punch, if Cummins had gambled everything on a quick finish, he could have come very unstuck.
Well, that's true, but then, of course, you know, the perfect fighter hasn't been born yet. The fellow who can punch can probably not be able, is probably not able to take as good a punch as Chandler, you know. So, this has been an excellent performance by Cummins. He's fought very well. Superb fight so far. And an excellent performance by Chantler, I might add, for being able to stay in there this long.
It takes 2 to tango. 2 rounds to come, and, well, there can't be any doubt at all that, to coin a phrase, Cummins could sit out the next 2 rounds. He'd still win, but he's got to keep his chin protected.
Yeah, well, I don't think Chandler is so tired now. I don't even think he has the power to knock Cummins out. What Cummins has got to do is got to be able to last the 2 rounds now, get up on his toes, move around, switch from side to side, and use it as like an experienced sparring routine. Outbox this guy, slip side to side, take as little as possible, and come back with fast combinations. That's the way he's got to finish the fight. He's not going to knock this guy out. This guy's too tough. He's been there for a long time, and it's, you know, it's not going to be over in the next 6 minutes.
Round 9.
And from Chandler's viewpoint, as I've already said, the professional satisfaction of going the full 10 rounds with a banger like Shaun Cummins, who's proved he's the governor all right, but maybe not quite in the way he would have wished.
That's what he's got to do, just move around, out jab. Chandler will walk on the punches if he does that.
Cummins still taking time out to wink down at us.
Oh, it's those body punches that are doing the business. Absolutely superb. Chandler's going to be extremely sore. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple of cracked ribs there.
Couldn't disagree with that. Cummins setting himself for a big finish, perhaps. Gets caught very nicely with the right hand.
That's right, he can't afford to take chances with this guy. Move around, keep his hands up. I hope we can straighten it, you know, if Eddie King can straighten this cocky attitude out, and, you know, take it out of him, because he doesn't need that. He fights too good to have this old brashness about him. He's got lots of ability, he doesn't need it.
Well, it's fine to be cocky if you've got something to be cocky about, which he has. And everything in moderation is fine, as long as you know where to draw the line. I guess in the heat of battle, it's difficult to do that.
The problem is he's, you know, he was taking chances that were inside punching range, and he can't afford to do that. And I know that he listened to sensible advice. And you know, this has been a superb performance. All he's got to do now is finish with a nice, fast combination, keep his hands up, and take as little punches as possible. Chandler has had Chandler's come back in this round. This has been his best round in the last 4 rounds. He's come back into the fight. He's thrown some good solid punches for the first time, and actually landed a few punches too. And surprisingly, Cummins hasn't moved his head out of the way. Good round for Chantler.
Yeah, it was indeed. Last round coming up. Let me remind you once again that after that we have the main event of the evening, the Commonwealth Middleweight Championship. Michael Watson defending his title against the Aussie Craig Trotter. But right now we've got the small matter of the last round between Shaun Cummins of Leicester and Wales against Ian Chantler of St Helens. Cummins ahead by a long way, but must avoid any silly mistakes in this final 3 minutes.
Despite all this aggravation in the ring, they both have a lot of respect for one another, and I'm sure when the final bell rings, they'll both put their arms around one another.
For sure. And I bet you something that when Chantler gets back to his dressing room, he'll be telling his manager, you know, I reckon I can beat this bloke next time, and you're getting your rematch.
I don't think so. Somehow or another. Not after the body punches and the body assault that he's taken tonight. I don't think that Cummins has ever been pushed this hard before. I watched him in his fight against Brian Robinson, and it was a very tough fight indeed, but I don't think he's had to exhaust himself the way he's had to do it tonight.
Well,
I think probably Robinson actually threw more dangerous punches back at him, but he was a bit more vulnerable than Chandler.
Chantler again caught.
One last effort from Cummins. This guy's not going down, he's here to stay.
Oh, the old Ali shuffle. Who would have thought it?
Nice left jab there from Cummins, straight through the middle. Right hand again. He's winning this round by a mile. He's boxing beautifully on the retreat, and that's what he's got to do to the end of the round. And he's won this fight by the proverbial mile.
And just at the end, a little trickle of blood coming from Cummins' nose. And that's about really the only tangible sign of success that Chantler's had all night.
Tremendous fight, superb performance by Cummins. He's won it by a mile. A big clap for Chandler. What a courageous, brave guy he is.
Well, we'll see what Dave Parrish scored it. I'll make it 99-96. Oh, we're all mates now. Freddie King comes over.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let's see how scoring went.
referee Dave Parrish is awarding to Ian Chantler 97 points. Shaun Cummins 99 points. A winner, Shaun Cummins.
Well, a couple more even rounds than I would have made it, but nevertheless a convincing margin. 4 rounds in the event for the governor.
The very game man from Lancashire, Ian Chantler. Gentlemen, don't leave all.
Yes,
The
Well
main
done,
event.
Chantler. And well done, Shaun Cummins.
Gentlemen, the main
Now,
event is next on.
We're going to hear from Shaun Cummins now. And Shaun is up at the ringside. With him is Gary Newbon.
You're only about 4th or 5th in the British ratings at the moment.
There's a lot of good fighters out there, yeah. I'd obviously like to, you know, Tony Collins, he says he's the best light middleweight in the country. Obviously, if he gets in with me, he'll find out that I'm the governor. And Chris Party's only around the corner now.
Well, there are times when you impressed us tonight, but there's still
Yeah.
a lot to do.
I've got a lot of work to do, yeah.
What do you think you've got to do?
Well, basically get a lot sharper and like not play around so much.
Yeah, that's probably good advice to yourself.
I'd just like to say that I love everybody in Wales there, and in Leicester and all my friends, and to my lady in Wales, I love you very much.
You're going home tonight?
Tomorrow morning.
Right, well done.
Thank you very much.
Well, you see, he's a lovely lad. Once all the hype and the steam's gone out of him, we'll be seeing much more of Shaun Cummins in 1991. We'll be seeing more of Michael Watson too, right after the break.